Good morning and welcome to Sunday Morning Beers. We got a lot of things that we could have done, or that we could do with the show today. Like we said last week, we were going to take your calls.
Yeah.
And Phil worked all week on getting the phone lines up, and he said there's still some problems on that, so probably not going to be able to do the phone calls until at least next week.
Technical difficulty.
So Phil, I mean, you really put yourself out this week. We appreciate that. Thank you, and we'll try to get to your calls next week. Other things, Father's Day.
Happy Father's
Day. If your dad is still with you, you're lucky enough to have your dad with you, do something with Dad today. Good time to spend time with him. You
Absolutely.
know, it's not supposed to be all that nice today. It's talking about rain.
Yeah, which means the museum's going to be hellacious.
You could do something. You could do something inside. You know, you don't need to barbecue or anything like that. You could take him to 4th Street Brewery.
Yeah, but don't take him to the museum.
You could take him to 4th Street Brewery. Get him a growler. Get him a growler beer. Lots of things you could do, but do something nice for your dad.
There's stuff on tap now.
So yeah, there's stuff at 4th Street Brewery on tap. So speaking of that, and that's where we're going to go with that. The next thing on that. But anyways, Happy Father's Day to everyone out there, and Happy Father's Day to our dads up there.
God bless them.
Okay. A little bit ago, we talked about a beer that we really liked. It actually inspired me, and that was from Buckeye Brewing Company, their Paw Paw beer. Garen did a great job with that. Thanks for inspiring me. Thank you for hooking me up with Integration Acres in Southern Ohio, which is a big Paw Paw farm where Garen got his Paw Paw and passed along that information to me. And that's where I got my Paw Paw.
We're doing Paw Paw beer
Paw Paw
on
for Father's Day. How about that? How perfect is that? Paw Paw for Paw Paw. I never called my Paw Paw.
I called mine Dad.
I never called him Paw or Paw Paw.
Dad. He was Dad.
Anyways, so that's what we have right here. We have, believe it or not, something very special from 4th Street Brewery. It's been a long time since we drank something from 4th Street Brewery.
Yeah.
On the air. On the air. But it's good beer. We actually have two beers that are probably like two of my favorite beers on the market right now. They're both at 4th Street Brewery. That is the Oakenbach and the 9th edition of Summer Sensation. This is what it looks like. It's very cloudy. Yeah, it's got some yeast haze to it, but a lot of it, there's actually some Paw Paw in here. So you're getting a little bit of Paw Paw in every glass.
Smells yummy.
Should have looked up the nutritional value of Paw Paw. I'm sure it's good for you. It's a fruit. So, cheers. Now, some of you have already had this, and you know about the beer.
That's so refreshing.
But we have a lot of people that watch the show that they probably aren't able to come to the brewery, maybe not at all, or at least not very often.
Looks like apricot juice. No?
So Summer Sensation, we do it different every year. This year, the base beer is, I would call it a Belgian wheat. I used the yeast from a brewery in Belgium. It's 50% wheat. And actually, the second version of this, the second batch that I do this year, is going to be the wheat's going to be Michigan wheat. So Michigan and Ohio, that's the ties there, the Ohio Paw Paw. Paw Paw is also known as the Michigan banana. You can grow Paw Paw quite good here in Michigan.
But it doesn't look like banana.
But it is not commercially, it's not enough of it growing to get commercially available. But Paw Paw, no, it doesn't look like a banana, but it kind of tastes like a banana. It tastes like,
looks like a plum.
The base beer of this, from the yeast, very nice yeast in here. I really like this yeast.
It is very delicious.
Has apple and bananas is the flavor of that. So mix this fruit, which I think, tasting it pure, out of the containers that we got it in, because it was already pureed when we bought it. So it's pulp, basically Paw Paw pulp.
Pulp. Say that 5 times fast.
To me, tastes like bananas and melon. Like, imagine mashing up bananas and mixing with a little melon. That's what it tasted like.
It almost has an apricot flavor.
To the beer? Yeah. I think it's kind of the combination of all the flavors together gives it different flavors.
But not like in-your-face apricot. It's just subtle. And I love...
Well, apricot's a delicate fruit anyway.
It is.
It's really good in beer.
And I do love the Pyramid Brewing Apricot Ale. That is like one of my favorites. My summer go-to. Because it's so refreshing.
Well, this is a great summer beer.
It's delicious.
And if you think that you don't like fruit beers, I think that you should try this. Because this is not sweet by any stretch of the imagination. No. It's got a very dry finish.
But it's got that fruit balance in the middle of your tongue. It's like
It's real fruit, so it's not
yeah.
syrupy. Not
And so
syrupy like
it's,
a lot of fruit beers, because they're not really fruit.
And
They're
it's a
extract.
lasting flavor on your tongue. It's nice. It's real nice.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, babe.
Thank you. Yeah, it's very refreshing. So, Paw Paw, good stuff to
God
brew
bless
with.
you.
And, if you get the chance to come into the brewery, check it out, because it is super refreshing on a hot day, just like the perfect
I
beer.
know, that's what I'm thinking. Gosh, that's a
Yeah.
good beer to have after working in the yard all day.
Mm-hmm.
When you get in the house and you're like, air conditioning and refreshing
Absolutely.
beer.
And there's nothing like having a growler. The only thing better than having a growler would be actually having beer on tap at your house. But then you wouldn't come into the brewery very often, I
No,
guess.
and we'd never leave the house.
No, we wouldn't either. If we ever win the lottery, we would definitely have a beer on tap at the house, for sure. Growlers are nice, but, just pouring the beer.
Well, I
on
used to
tap,
have
'Cause the
beer on
growlers don't
tap
keep
at the
very long.
house when in my past life,
Mhm.
I had a refrigerator with 3 taps coming out of it.
Mm-hmm. That's nice to have.
Mhm.
So
Very
if we
convenient.
win the lottery,
Mhm.
we'll do that again. We'll do that again someday.
We don't have the space
Or,
for
or,
it.
or what we could do, because our dream when we win the lottery is to open the brewery bed and breakfast.
Yes.
We'd be sleeping really next to the brewery, actually.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the brewery bed and
Which
breakfast.
means we could sneak down in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And,
Yep.
and, take a
And
little
if you stayed at our bed and breakfast, you'd have beer for breakfast.
Or Bloody Mary.
Beer for breakfast. Yeah, that too.
Because that goes good with
Look
breakfast.
at who's here. Look at, it's Victor. Victor making a rare appearance on Sunday Morning Beers. Wow. Victor senses that it's going to storm today. He's nervous.
Aw.
He senses.
But I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah.
What a big boy.
Very
So
nice of him to
proud
come
of
visit
you.
us. That's probably about all the time that we have for the show. So next week we're going to try to have the whole thing worked out with the phone calls. Phil's going to keep working hard on that. We're going to finish this beer. Got to get to the brewery. And hopefully we'll see you and your dad at the brewery today. Have a great day. Have a great week. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.